And we are live. What is up, y'all? It's your girl Dejai Monet, and we are back with another episode of I Think, Therefore I'm Black. Hope everybody had a good week. My week was good, busy, but good. So I got a couple announcements to make. Well, just one. So Global Brigades here at SLU is having a bake sale Wednesday, 11/6 from 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. And they are raising money to go to Panama. I have a guest here who will talk more about that shortly. But speaking of raising money, the topic of today actually is securing the bag, how to budget while in college. And I picked none other than one of my best friends, Miss Makaila Anderson. Hey.
Hey, it is she. Thanks for having me.
Of course. How are you? How's your week?
Pretty good. Stressful, but
Yeah.
I'm making it. How about you?
I'm good. I'm here. I'm alive. So that's the first step, right?
Yes.
Right.
First.
All right. So before we get into the topic, tell us about this Global Brigades and what are you guys raising money for? What's this trip about?
This is kind of like a short of doing study abroad.
Okay.
A lot of people don't have the money to do study abroad, but this is just like a snapshot, and it's like you can do it if you're medical, business, if you just want to go help out. This one specifically is for a clinic. It'll be for a week helping people out in that area. I think it's going to be East and West Panama. We'll be shadowing doctors, and it's just a great experience. There's other brigades, like water brigades and whatnot. And like you said, this week we'll be having a fundraiser to help out, funding everyone's trip. And it definitely helps to have more people because then it makes it less expensive for everyone. And yeah.
Okay, yes, so make sure you guys come to the bake sale. It will be from 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. this Wednesday, November 6th. And where will it be at?
It'll be in the BSC. Typically, it's right outside by the DPS.
Okay, yeah, so it'll be right outside the information desk.
Thank
It'll be
you.
right outside the information desk on the second floor, so you can't miss it. Right when you walk in, go support, come with your cash, come with your donations, and be generous. All right, so let's get into this topic, securing the bag, budgeting in college. So, of course, there's this myth about being, I don't think it's a myth, about being a broke college student. And honestly, I remember being in high school and reading memes about it. I'm like, that ain't gonna be me when I get into college. I'm not gonna be broke. I'm gonna have a job. I'm gonna have money, this, that, and the other. I got to college and I was like, oh no.
Exactly.
This reality sucks. So yeah, I definitely became a broke college student really fast. And I also know being broke does not mean you have no money at all.
Exactly.
Being broke means you have
It's a mindset.
It is a mindset for real. And also I've realized that being broke means, okay, if I've paid all my bills and everything I need to do and I just don't have that much left over, does that mean I'm broke or I just don't have it right now? So I'm still debating on back and forth on what it really means to be a broke college student, because I do agree with you. It definitely is a mindset.
Yeah, a little bit on that. I know I came in, I didn't have that much support, and I was just like, how am I make ends meet? And it's simply, working and knowing what, like you said, budgeting, what you want to use that money for. And I think it's definitely possible, but it takes patience. And it's not easy at all. But let's say you're making $100 that week, but okay, well, I'm in an apartment, so I at least need $30-$40. Now that's half your check for that week. Yes. But it's a way you can expand your food, okay? You eating in moderation. You don't have to eat like a pig. You don't have to eat mama just cooked your food,
Right,
So
yes.
I think it's a way to do that, but also what you're wanting to spend your money on, and being smart about it. Because it's not realistic to say, I want to go out every weekend. That's not even realistic for some people who are, well into their profession.
Yeah.
So I think once you notice that is when you can be real with yourself, okay, well, I can treat myself at this point in time, and go from there.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think one of my biggest issues first starting off, coming into college was, one, I knew how to budget. I just did not budget correctly. And I was also so used to, like, you know, I had family members, except for my mama. I had family members who did not want me to work while in college because they thought it would be too much for me. So it was hard for me to find a job. One, just not really being super familiar with the area. And when I would come, I know, for those of you guys who don't know, I do have family here. When I would come every summer, I didn't need to work. Right. Like, I was young and didn't need a job. And, you know, my grandma covered everything. And she's like, I don't want you to work. I just want you to focus on school. Like, you'll be fine. Like, I got it. But I also am very prideful. And I don't like asking people for money because then they also want to know what you're going to spend it on. And I was not making the most responsible decisions financially my first couple years of college because I knew that, like, I was covered and taken care of. And it was important for me to get a job because I just like having my own money. Like, this is my hard-earned money that, you know, that I worked for, and I can spend it on whatever I want to spend it on without any questions asked.
Yeah. Well, I think it's beneficial that you even have the support of your grandmother.
Yes.
Because then with that, like you said, you're able to have that job and kind of have that, and then also a job to kind of supplement whatever you wanted to do in between. Because I think it's important, even whether you have support, whether you don't, to have that budget to be realistic with yourself. Because this is training for the real world. So, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. And also, it was just, for me, it's a sense of, like, independence. Like, my mom, I was raised by a single parent, and finances is just one thing that was just always, like, something that we worried about. I worried about as a kid, because it was always something that was talked about. So I always knew, I was raised like, if you're not going to school, you're gonna work. It's nice if you gonna do both, but you're gonna do one or the other. Exactly. So I always had this worker's mentality. Like, I've been wanting a job since I was 14 years old, just so I can say I've made my own money, and also to help take the load off of my mother. Right. So coming into college, it was just hard to, like, not have the money that I thought I was going to have, for one, and two, getting financial help and support from family. But at the same time, I kind of lost that sense of independence. I'm like, dang, I really am a broke college student. Like, I got my grandma paying for groceries, tuition, this, that, and the third. Like, I just wanted to be able to say, like, I can do both.
Well, I think what's helpful is, like, at SLU, you have Handshake. Because it's hard, you know. I'm from Wisconsin, so I'm not even from here. I'm not from the state. I don't know how to make these connections. So I think one helpful thing is Handshake. You're like, you come in, there's so many, there's the career fair, there's other different things.
Job searches,
Yeah, just telling you, okay, these are jobs needed on campus that have low requirements of what you're going to do as a federal work study student or not. So I think that was a helpful tool for me. I got on Handshake immediately before I even got into college. I made sure to secure a job and one that worked with my schedule. Yeah. And I think what's also helpful is they're flexible with you. They know you're a student. Yep. You know, it's really hard to say, okay, I'm going to work at McDonald's, because they're not going to respect. They're not going to respect that. That schedule that you have.
Absolutely. So. Yeah, and then I ended up getting a job. And then it was 30 minutes all the way in the boonies, so I would have to wake up like an extra hour early to take the train and all that stuff to get to the job. Then I got fired. So then I was depressed because I was broke. I was depressed and broke. And then I kind of had to, my first semester of freshman year, I literally had to figure it out, and thank God for my grandma for, you know, being able to help me with, like, certain things that I needed help with. But by May of my freshman year, going into my sophomore year, I got the current job that I'm at now, and that I've been working there ever since. And I was like, yes, like, yes, I have this independence, I have this, like, money. And then that's when I started kind of, like, wanting to be more independent. I ended up getting my own, like, getting off my mom's phone bill. Told my mom wanted to get off her phone bill. I wanted to start paying my own phone bill. Opened a credit card so I can get used to.
Listen, I let moms keep that. That's one thing I said she can't have. I said she can have the phone bill.
Keep it.
Take it until I graduate at least.
Yeah, no, my mom was like, it was funny because I was like, Mom, I need an upgrade. She's like, no, you ain't doing that. I'm like, you better start paying your own phone bill. It's about that time. I'm like, all right, well, I need a new phone, so I'm gonna just go ahead and pay this own phone bill.
Right.
I was like, but I thought it would be. I was like, well, I thought it would be cheaper if I just like, gave you the money. She's like, nope. So now, look, we both like, dang, maybe we should have stayed on that phone bill and paid, because them bills, it racks up for sure.
It's more expensive than you would even think it is.
Yeah.
Like, it make you think, is cricket that bad? Look, is Net 10 that bad?
Boost Mobile that bad? Is a flip phone really that bad?
I mean, I can still text.
You know what? A pager actually don't sound too bad right about now.
We can do the little code.
We can have a special code for each other, and just like, yeah.
So
just
like,
like
an email. We use an email.
Yeah, we can use email. Like,
Yeah.
At this point, it's just, adulting is really not where it's at.
Man.
However, I did, realize like early on how to utilize my resources, because there are a lot of unforeseen costs that colleges in general do not tell you about. So like printing costs, lit costs, book costs, this, that, and the other. So I'm in this program. We're both in this program called Trio. And I found out about it through an older college student at the time, and I signed up. You get free printing. They give you like grants for certain things if you meet certain requirements. So I definitely had to learn how to utilize my resources and get free things very early on in college. And I think that's very important for college students to realize, is like, ask questions. Like,
yeah, I think what happened was I had originally heard about, the TRIO programs, support services when I was a freshman. And I was like, oh, well, I'm not considered first gen because my mom has her associates. And that's a common misconception.
It is.
So like you said, asking questions, asking around is really helpful, because I didn't end up getting into TRIO until like the end of my sophomore year. Thank God I have, because it's helped me thus far, with printing and whatnot. But realistically, if I had that my freshman year, I wouldn't have spent $20, $30 on printing, because I like to have PowerPoints in front of me. But yeah.
Yeah, also it helped being a part of just like any programs or like college access programs. I know I'm a part of one at home, and they give a certain stipend each semester as well that goes towards the books or whatever. Honestly, whatever you want to spend it on, it's kind of like, it's your money, do as you please use it wisely kind of thing. There's been a couple times where I did not, but that is okay. We have learned and we grow. So yeah, just like seeing what's out there. There's so many organizations that have reduced fees. I know the Black Student Alliance has a scholarship for its e-board members and its constituents. You can get your college application fees reduced or graduate school application fees reduced. If you apply. It's all about doing the work. You cannot be lazy when it comes to saving money, and I definitely had to learn that the hard way. You definitely have to do the work, ask your questions, look around, utilize your resources, because it is out there. I remember I didn't have to pay for any of my college applications, because
I think if you get like free or reduced lunch, they have it for those. And another thing was, you just kind of hit on it, was I think you said Black Student Alliance, that they have it. So even like the different programs that they have, if you're having troubles paying for, like, let's say cultural extravaganza, just ask them, just tell them, because honestly, closed mouths don't get fed, and that's really what you have to think about when moving forward.
I remember. Yep,
and all those different programs, and it's like, you would have never known had you not asked, had you not seen someone else ask. So
you definitely, I remember my first year when we went, first cultural extravaganza, Black Student Alliance, when we went to New Orleans, and I was like, dang, I ain't got that money.
Listen.
I texted the president at the time, shout out to Jonathan. I was like, look, I want to go on this trip, but I ain't broke. He's like, oh yeah, just fill out this link, you good?
Yeah.
I got a $200 experience for $0. And it was just like, I was so grateful for that, because they make sure, especially like with BSA and like when it comes to trips like that, try to make sure to make it, if not free, as inexpensive as possible, as affordable as possible, and you get all these experiences, and it's just so much fun. We've gone to New Orleans, Atlanta, Memphis. Like it's been great, and I think I've only had to pay for one, and even then it wasn't exactly that much. So yeah, definitely utilizing those resources.
You kind of talked about about the college apps, like when you're initially applying.
Mm-hmm.
And I know a lot of people who are graduating May 2020 like us.
Woo! Out of here.
That they're looking for those scholarships. So when they're applying to post-grad programs or just regular grad programs for those applications. So I recently found out that McNair Scholars is, worldwide. You know, a lot of people know it has a lot of accolades behind it. And with that comes some type of recognition of possibly a disadvantaged student. Okay. So once they recognize you as that is when you get those different advantages. I know I was filling out an application and it's like, oh, if you're a McNair Scholar, you don't have to pay this. Just send us the accreditation for that. And it's just great. So
yeah, it pays to be smart. And it's so funny because my mom used to tell me that all the time growing up. It pays to be smart. And I didn't get quite what she meant until recently when we in all these programs for being smart. And all these, like, I guess we can call all these passes, I guess we can get, and fees that we can get reduced. Or just can't, not have to pay it all. So it really works out. Also utilizing scholarships. There are a lot of citywide scholarships, statewide scholarships, scholarships provided by the school. You just have to do the work when it comes to, if you are a college student and you don't have that money coming into college, you have to do the work to make sure you are utilizing the small dollar that you're getting either from your parents or from that part-time job that you got. You definitely want to make that money stretch. Right. And I know these are a couple of ways that we have done it, for sure. And I mean, it's worked for us. Somewhat.
Still so at SLU.
Yeah.
Expensive SLU. Love it. But it's expensive. So you got to find ways to pay for it.
Yeah. And I know we had talked about or we wanted to bring up the rich versus the poor. So how the rich stay rich and how, I guess, I would say, I don't know if I should say poor or just broke. Because like we said, broke is a mindset.
It is.
And I also have this ideology that if you not spending the money on what it is you really need to be spending the money on, and you come up with no money, but your bill's not paid, but you got new shoes and your hair done and your lashes done and all this stuff, you're broke. I'm sorry, sweetheart, you were broke. But if you just if you ain't got it at the end, but your bills are paid for, you got food in your fridge, your phone's still on, you still you made it another month in school. You good. You just look.
Yeah, and I feel like that should be our focus as students anyway. Yes. I think people put so much emphasis on other things, and it's like, I'm a student first. And I think once we start getting into that, understanding that, accepting that, is when we say, you know what? Let me live below my means so I can be comfortable.
Yep, the rich stay rich by living below their means, and the broke stay broke by trying to keep up with the Joneses. And so,
those days ain't worth it. Look, I ain't gonna say I ain't never want
them. The Brazilian ain't worth it. It's not.
Give it up.
And then we had briefly said we wanted to bring up intergenerational curses and being a first generational college student and how difficult that can be financially, because 9 times out of 10 the reason why college wasn't an option for our parents and our grandparents is because of finances. And I've noticed that a lot, especially in the Black community.
Right. And I think it's something that we can break, but it's going to take a while. Because some people have inherited money, but how are we going to get inherited money if we're not investing that money?
Yes.
So I think that's an important thing. I'm currently not investing, but I've seen some of those that's if you do a penny a day, if you do this a day, and it really does add up. As far as stocks as well, get into those. I've been seeing so many people doing stocks, Bitcoin, all that. So I think once we step out of our comfortability, because I think a lot of people don't know about it. You're not educated. Financial literacy is a big thing that a lot of people are lacking. So with that, I think if once we educate ourselves on financial literacy, find the ins and outs, is when we can start saving that money for our family so we can break those curses.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree. Yeah, I think that I actually was not going to go to college. It was a bunch of other factors that played into it, but one of it being was money. And I think that's why my grandma was like, oh, no. It's okay. We got it. You good. And I'm like, all right. Let's see what this college thing is talking about. But probably a lot of the reason why it had to do with money. I also think they was in a rush to be like, no, we got it, because they knew if I took a gap year, that gap year would have turned into gap years. Listen, and I would not have gone to college.
You yourself.
Because I wouldn't, and I know myself. That's why everyone's like, why don't you, you're going through a lot, why don't you just take a break? If I take a break, I'm not coming back.
Right, and it's easier said than done.
Like, it is very much so easier said than done.
If I take this break, I'm going to get into that working phase. Like, I'm just working, but not working for a career.
Mm-hmm. And my mom said that's what happened to her, and she just got so used to working and making all that money. And you know, when you 20, 21, 22, 23, making $15 an hour, working full time, that look nice. And then, but the kids happen, you know, bills happen, and you like, dang, like I really wish, like, if I could, I would. So I think that's why they instilled the importance of like getting that degree on me, for sure. And on that note, we are going to take a break. So here is the first song of the night, and it's We Ball by Meek Mill featuring Young Thug. And we're back. For those of you guys just tuning in, I am Dejai Monet, and this is I Think Therefore I'm Black. And we are back with Makaila Anderson talking about securing the bag and the importance of budgeting and financing in college. And before the song break, we brought up the importance of like investing. And how a little can go a long way, for sure. I know my dad has talked to me about him wanting me to open up an investing account, for sure, and just he's like, it really does add up and it really does help. So the importance of investing at a young age. I know a lot of people think it's for old people, right? But it really does help to invest starting out as young as 18, 19, 20, even in high school. But yeah, as early as you know about it, it's very important to definitely invest.
And I would even say investing in yourself when it comes to like your savings account. Yeah. Like a lot of people are like, oh, I had this little savings, but I dip in it from time to time. Well, you're not investing in how you would like it to be like when you get older. Yes. And not touching that pot is really going to make it grow. And I recently was just talking about to a couple people how I have multiple bank accounts. And that's not because I'm being secretive or anything. It's just, okay, I'm going to have a pot here, pot here, pot here. And I work those. So I know, okay, well, this is my spending pot. This is my saving. This is where I get my deposit. And going from there, I think, has helped me in the way I operate and how I create my budgets. And also, sometimes you need accounts created for certain things, but you don't want it to go here. It's a lot of different things. Also, security with credit cards. I've had my credit cards literally fraud on my credit cards 4 times. Oh, gosh, yes. And this happens just from even going to fast food places. So I think it's definitely important to have different pots, especially moving. Like, I know I get a direct deposit, I move that out of my checkings immediately. So every time you do it like that, or you have it just directly deposited, and they give you that option, like, okay, you want to put it here, you want to split it here, always do that. Because some people get 100% of their deposit in their checkings and they blow it that week. Instead of saying, well, I'm going to at least take 30% out of what I got. Yeah. Though it's not a lot, it's a little and it's enough.
It does go a long way. And I also learned that, so I actually did, what I started doing was over the summer, since I know I work more hours over the summer, I would put half of my check direct deposit my savings and half my check deposit into my checking. I also had 2 jobs too over the summer, throughout the school year, and over this past summer I had 2 jobs as well. So it was so easy for me to like put 50% and not touch that savings because I was getting a large income and I didn't have to pay out that much because I didn't have school. All I had was one bill to pay and one thing to pay down. So it definitely worked that way. Now when school starts and I started to get back into school, I changed like the amount. I put 25% into my savings, keep that 75% into my checking. And it definitely works out because you're less likely to dip into your savings. It's not too much going.
You don't see it because you're like,
Right.
well, this is my spending pot, so this is mostly what I'm gonna look at, what I'm gonna focus on when I'm trying to obviously get stuff done. And then you have the other bank account, only when I need it, but really shouldn't even be using savings at all.
Right.
Another thing that I wanted to bring up is like asking for money beforehand. Like me, I'm a person, I don't ask for money until the very last
minute. Yeah.
I wasn't able to scrape it, and I need it probably in 2 days. You know, like that's how I am.
Yes.
I've always been, I'm gonna get it. So you ask for that money beforehand, and maybe you don't spend all of it. Not that you ask for too much, but maybe you're able to say, well, maybe I don't need this much at this time. So just kind of, I guess, finessing the bag. So you like, they gave me this 100.
Yeah.
I could spend this whole 100 like I thought, but maybe I can get something that's cheaper for the same thing.
Right. I remember I tried to finesse the bag on my mama recently. I had mentioned like the phone bill to her, and she's like, because my sister's on my plan too, and they just like pay her portion, and because it's easier for all of us. And so I was like, yeah, Mom, I think that phone bill portion, I think it's due. And she's like, nah, I paid that part already. It was due this time. I'm like, yeah, you're right. She FaceTimed me and she was like, you need some cheddar, don't you? See, I wasn't going to say nothing, but, you know, a little bit of money would be nice right now. But I'm also very proud of myself and just how much, like, I know I want to go back home. I know I want to rent a car. So, like, I put together a budget of how much I need to save a week for that. And I put together a budget on, like, what goes out every month. I'm going to start paying my bills, like, on the same day at the end or beginning of each month. So everything that goes out, it's all out. And whatever I have left is free money or spending money or just, like, a cushion money just in case. Because I've also noticed, like, I'm such a stickler for, like, sticking to a budget or sticking to the schedule.
You got to be.
Yeah, but I also am so, like, anal about it. I don't take into account the surprise payouts I have to pay. Okay. So let's say, like, I ran out of milk. Okay, well, dang. Right, that little $3, like, that's gonna break me around now. So, like, I have
leaving room.
Yeah, so I have to learn now, since I actually started writing down my budget, how to leave room for error, just in case the emergency payouts and things like that. And my mom always told me to keep at least, like, a good cushion in your account for stuff like that. And yeah, I'm starting to, like, the pot's getting bigger, like, it's becoming more and more.
It's looking a little nice.
It's a little nice. So yeah, definitely the importance of, like, investing, having multiple accounts, not putting all your money in, like, one account, because that
you play yourself doing that, honestly.
Especially if you're not honest with yourself and you think, like, oh, I'm gonna be good, but
and then you look, you like, I spent $800 this week, did I should have planned better for this, or I should have known this was the pot for this. And speaking of spare change, though, I recently heard about the Acorn app.
Yes.
So I guess pretty much the spare change, let's say you went to the store, paid them $5, whatever, total was like $123. So that little change that you get from that is then invested, and then once it gets up to $5 after it's accumulated, it's then invested into something else.
Yep.
So I think that's such a neat program. I haven't tried it out, but I think it's definitely something somebody should look into.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like, I want to invest. I don't know how to. I don't know where to start. That's a start.
Yeah, because with stuff like that, it's something that you don't see, and it's such a little amount, like 50 cents, 25 cents here, because it's just rounding it up to the next dollar that you spend. So let's say you spend like $8.50. It'll take 50 cents and then round it up to $9, and like once it accumulates, invest in that. And it's so small that you don't see it until finally you like, dang, I got this much money.
Yep.
Let me go ahead and like cash it out, or let me go ahead and like put this in like a cushion, or like just keep letting it grow and seeing where it goes.
Or doing the old school way. I know I got another account, I guess. I got like a pot of all my coins and then a pot of some money, and that's sometimes what you got to do.
Yeah.
But some people are like, they can't have it tangibly available because then they'll spend it. So if you're
that
type of person, don't do it.
I'm that person for sure.
Or a bottle that you can't burst.
Yep.
You should do it like that.
Yep. Yeah, I have a friend that I worked with. She every time she gets fives, anything 5 and under, she'll put it in this like thing that she can't break. So then once a big event comes up or like her birthday comes up or anything where she like knows she gonna like want that, she'll like dig into it, and she's like, it works out. Like anything 5 and below. And I was like, I'm gonna try that. Like just trying to just find new ways to just like save money, especially being a college student and being so young, and like not, some of us are not able to work 2 jobs or all these like, you know, jobs in one or all these hours. So it does get hard. I know I had to quit my second job because I knew I just couldn't do it this year. I tried to work both jobs and go to school, and I really would brag about it too. I'm like, I work 2 jobs and I'm at school. And I also was depressed and tired and never saw my friends and got 0 sleep. So that is not the route that like you want to go. Work smarter, not harder, is what I've learned as well. You definitely have to work smarter and not harder, because I know somebody who also works like a 9 to 5, but then works from like 6 p.m. to 6 a.m. like Thursday through Saturday, and I'm like, how do you do that?
And it's like you gotta account for the time that you're studying too. So if I had this class, I gotta account for I'm studying or doing homework 2 hours, and that's 1 class. So adding that and then making your work schedule, it's kind of what you have to do. But sometimes it's like, well, regardless of if I gotta study, I gotta work. And that's when the on-school jobs become like more of a tool and more helpful. But like you said, it's so hard. And if you had 2 jobs, I don't know how you did it.
I really would leave one,
because that's 3 jobs now. School and 2 jobs.
I would leave one and go to the other, like back to back, like with no breathing room, no relaxed time, like back to back. And I mean, it works for until it doesn't. And I remember like literally towards the end, like the last 3 weeks of the summer, I was completely burnt out, and I was like, all right, I gotta cut something out. So because I was waking up at 4 a.m., going to the gym, going to the first job, getting off the first job, going to the second job, getting off of the second job, going home, getting ready for bed, getting 4.5 hours of sleep, waking up, starting the cycle all over again. It was every single day, except for Sundays, because I would take off on Sundays. I don't work on Sundays. I don't believe in working on Sundays. That is the day of rest. That is the Lord's day. I will not work on any given Sunday. So
as you shouldn't.
It was just one of those things. I'm just like, I'm completely burnt out, and I also just don't believe
you didn't have time to
regroup or have friends or have a social life of any sort. So I work smarter, not harder. And I also don't see myself working for somebody for the rest of my life.
It goes.
So I definitely was like, okay, I know what I want to do. How can I use the finances from this job to like get there? And ultimately, like, I gotta work for somebody to work for myself, like for a little bit. But I cannot burn myself out like I was before, like working like 2 jobs for a long amount of time without giving myself that break.
I can definitely touch on that as well. For me, though, I've always had a job. I've had a job since I was 14, because that was when I was able to get a job. I worked at McDonald's for 3 years. What was my next job? My next job after that, I worked at Noodles and Company. So I was like food industry, because it's hard to find a job, especially entry level positions. I got on campus. I worked for Office of Sponsored Programs. That was taking a lot of my time. So then I moved to Big Brothers Big Sisters. Then now I'm a desk worker, and I think it's just so important to have that flexibility, like kind of as a student. But it was hard, because I'm like, okay, I'm active, I'm doing these programs, I'm talking to family back home, I'm trying to fit this all into one 24-hour period. I'm like, do I need to wake up at 5 a.m. every day to get this done? And sometimes it's not feasible. You know, and it's like, it gets hard on us. We're stressing, trying to do exams. Depending on what you're studying, it's that much more time needed. So sometimes it's just not realistic to say, I'm going to just go hard, woo. So, like you said, during summer, you had to go hard. So when you come this semester, you have a little
it was definitely worth it. It was definitely absolutely worth it. Tired as all get up, but it was definitely worth it. And it's one of those things where it's just like, I'm not saying, like, we're not saying don't do it. We're just saying if you're gonna do that route, you definitely have to leave some time for relaxation, for friends, for loved ones, just to get your mental health fully right. So like, carve out that time for people, and carve out that time for yourself as well. Like,
and being realistic.
And being honest with yourself, for sure, because I'm a firm believer in people make time for who and what they want to make time for. And I was making time for work, but also what ended up causing me to get burnt out is I also want to make time for friends. I want to make time to do this. And I want to make time to do that. And I wanted to make time for everybody. And then I didn't make time for Deja. So it was definitely... period. It was definitely difficult. So it's like, okay, I had to carve something out. And it was just... mentally, it was best for me just to like let go of that second job and only make it seasonal, so only work there when I don't have class and things like that.
And that comes with priorities. You have to say, okay, I'm paying for a tuition, so obviously that's at the top. Yeah. But self-care, I gotta have that at the top as well. It couples together because, like you said, you can't just be working your tail off 24/7 and then expect to be okay.
Yeah. And I also want to make it so that when I get older, you know, have a family and kids, like my kids have a college fund.
Man.
Because college funds are very important. Yeah. And my mom was like, she said when she was in school, she was like, all I was around was college fund babies. And it was just like, dang, like, this must be nice.
People just got it.
Or people just have it. And yeah, it's just important to have a college fund. Or even try, if you're in high school now, if you're young, if you're listening, try starting your own, saving a little bit to the side. A couple dollars here, couple dollars there. Or like putting it in, like, I know nowadays, like, they have bank accounts where, like, if you're a minor, like, you can have one as long as your parent, a joint one.
I definitely had a joint one, and it helped me out. I was saving little by little as I could, and also I bank with a credit union, one of my banks. So, like, with that, they give you, like, 50 cents if you've had this much money in your savings account for a certain period of time. So those are little things that will help you in the long run. Like you said, college funds are so important.
Yep.
I wish I had a college fund because that would alleviate so much stress.
It would have. It would have. And I know, like, saving up for college was something that was always talked about. And then it was my senior year of high school, and we like,
we didn't start that.
Oh, dang it. And it also, what am I trying to say? The options of colleges you can go to increase when you have the money for it. I know.
Say it again. They didn't hear you.
The testing is it on? Is it on? The options of college, colleges you can go to can increase when you got the money. Yeah. All right.
Yes,
yep.
ma'am.
So I noticed the main reason why I actually chose SLU is because they gave me the most money.
Exactly.
So like, if you don't want your college decision to be based off how much money is being given to you, it is very important to save now. If you want to transfer, it is very important to save now. If you want to go to graduate school, it is very important to save now. If you don't want to stay where you're at currently after college, it is important to start saving and planning, looking for a job, saving from your current job, just to like get that.
Yeah, I know
so
I know a lot of people who were like, yeah, I want to save, but just hadn't. And that's the reality of like every situation. Sometimes you're not even able to. But just finding those programs, finding those apps to just help you get you started. And Google is my best friend.
Oh, yeah.
So sorry, I cheated on you, but Google's my best friend. And it helps me with, I just got a question, I'm a Google.
Yeah. So. Yeah, definitely. You have to, like we said, work smarter, not harder. Invest, college funds.
Speaking of being smarter, not working smarter, not harder. Merit scholarships. People are like, "How did you get these scholarships for SLU? How did you do this?" Yo, I bust my butt in high school.
Yeah.
I was like, yo, I gotta get any scholarship that's out here, any scholarship that's available, and that's what I did. I'm like, okay, they want me to have 3.6 and above. I got that. I got you on this. I got you on that. So just investing in yourself in that way, like, okay, if I want to I got to study if I want to get here. Because not everyone wants to go to, like, a state school. Not everyone wants to stay at home. Like me, personally, I'm 6 hours away from home because that's what I wanted to do.
It's far enough and close enough.
Exactly.
And I think we all like each other more for it.
This is true.
I didn't even think about, like, merit scholarships is definitely important. That's one thing I did not utilize. I would say that I wish I would.
Grad school coming up though, merit scholarships is not as common, but still bust your butt and just see, okay, do they have this, because I got this grade point average.
Yeah, and they also have minority scholarships. They have scholarship for things you never would think. Like,
but they put it under disadvantaged students.
No, they don't.
Yes, they do.
Oh,
I saw.
Interesting.
So disadvantage could be socially.
Yep.
That could be financially.
Physically.
And it could also, I think it's one more category that I'm blanking on.
Mm-hmm.
But that's a part where it's going to ask you, are you disadvantaged? So if you're first gen, that's kind of like an automatic, because the stipulations of first gen is like, okay, well, where are you falling above or below the poverty line? You know, they have just different stipulations.
Yeah.
So with that, you kind of got to use all that.
Yeah.
Because that's what you need.
Absolutely. I also feel like that. And they have scholarships. Yeah, if you said disadvantage, they have scholarships for being left-handed. And they said that. And I'm left-handed. So I'm like, yes, let me fill it out. They also have scholarships for being ambidextrous, so when you can write with both. But I was so excited when I found out.
I guess I got to teach myself today.
Yeah, you better teach yourself how to write with it. Yeah, so when I found that out, I'm like, yeah, they literally have scholarships for anything, because I know a lot of people didn't start taking the idea of college seriously until the end of college, too. And so it's all about looking. You just got to do your research and you just got to do your work. Also, sports can't always have you make it. Like, I played sports for 10 years, you know. And what, did you get a sports scholarship coming
No,
college?
I had to, I had transferred high schools, so I had to sit out a year, and then they don't want to put seniors. It's a long story.
Yeah, they do, yeah.
But sports, you can't always bank on sports.
Yeah.
You know, you have to be realistic, like, okay, if I don't have this, what am I going to have in place of?
Right. Yeah. You definitely have to have a plan B and something to fall back on. And look, on that note, we're going to take one more break. Or another break. So here is the Easy remix by Danny Lay featuring Chris Brown.
Let's take it easy.
And we are back. That was Easy, the remix by Danny Lay featuring Chris Brown. And so we were definitely like honing in on the importance of investing, saving, college funds. And also we want to talk about the importance of like securing the bag early on. I know there are a lot of people in college who have like small businesses. They sell lashes, they sell hair, they do this, they do that. So just like small side hustles.
Yep.
I know you do hair.
I do. I do braids.
Yes.
You know, free promo.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, it's just like finding what your craft is and banking on that. So whether that be you play an instrument and you doing little gigs at weddings, different things like that, whether that is you do photography, like you said, selling lashes, you're getting an LLC, you have an incorporation, or even just on a lower level where it's like, okay, well, from time to time I do hair, or from time to time I do this, and I hope nobody else is listening that's gonna get me in trouble. But you know, just those little things and how you can bank on them.
Yeah, I know we have a friend who has their own business, and to fund that business, they actually do hair.
Yes.
And I was surprised because I asked, I was like, she was like, I don't want to do hair for the rest of my life. The idea is doing hair and getting money from that is helping me fund what I actually want to do. So like when we're talking about working smarter, not harder, if you gotta buckle down and work all these jobs now, you gotta do that. Make sure you got carving out the time for yourself and for your loved ones and people that you want and need to. But use that to fund what you really want to do in life. Put a certain amount to the side to save up to do what you really want to do in life.
You have to think ahead. If you don't, you literally are going to be stagnant.
Yeah, right. Now, not everyone wants to work for themselves. Like, some people do see themselves working a traditional 9 to 5 or working for somebody. But for those of y'all who don't see yourselves working 2 jobs and 6 to 6 and 9 to 5 and stuff like that, like, use that money and like to fuel what you really want to do. Because like I said, I don't see myself working for mine.
Yeah, I want to have a private practice if I can, God willing. So with that, I have to think ahead, like, okay, well, what is this money going to fund? Could I use this better?
Yeah, just how to better utilize your finances and resources for sure. I know I don't really have a side hustle. Well, actually, you know what? I clean up my grandma's bathrooms and my great aunt's bathrooms. I help take care of my great. Right. No, and it's funny because I was like, I am a very clean person. I think I have a mild case of OCD. So I would tell my grandma, I'm like, look, I can come over here once a month and clean your bathrooms, because if I'm using it and okay, I clean this, then I am okay with using the bathrooms. And that's just anywhere. Right. So I'll clean the bathrooms. I help take care of my great grandma. And granted, my grandma does not have to pay me to do this. I would do it for free. But she feels like, you're working hard, you're in school, you can't work that much, because we saw what that did to me physically, mentally, and emotionally over the summer. Do this, let's just do this and make it work. And I've been consistent, committed, and it also is an excuse for me to see my grandma and to spend time with my 95-year-old great grandmother. So it's it's a blessing. I'm killing two birds with one stone too, because that's a monthly income I can expect that I put to the side, and it's also a way to kind of make the time for those loved ones. So if you can kill two birds with one stone in that way, I highly recommend it.
I know for me, when I was in high school, I was in an orchestra quartet, and with that, we just did different gigs, and I was just saving that money, So we played at weddings. We played the Boys and Girls Club had a ceremony. We played there. We have this country club. We played there. So just finding different ways that you can use your talents and your gifts to fund whatever, like you said, that you need, that you want.
Yeah. I sing. I do music, and everyone keeps trying to tell me to get my stuff out there, and I'm just nervous. Everybody just keep egging me on, but that's also a way I could be making some extra money. I also do YouTube. I do have a YouTube channel. I'll put all the info at the end, but I'm also trying to figure out ways that I can start making a profit off of it, because there are famous YouTubers out here who make a decent living.
This is true.
So that's kind of what I'm doing. So that's also another reason why I let go of my second job, because I'm I don't even have time at the end of the day to hone and fuel and financially support what it is I actually want to do. I'm dog tired. I got all this money, and I just I'm dog tired. So kind of just figuring out ways to do that, and you might have to cut back on some things. You might have to actually cook your food, and you might not be able to eat out every single night. And eating out adds up, I have noticed. It really does add up, and you don't think so, because $10 here, $20 there, $15 there, and then you're dang, you're oh,
girl, I can speak about that all too personally. I recently got a restricted diet from having so many allergies, and I've been forced to cook for myself. And when I tell you I save so much money, I have the U.S. Bank app, and it shows me literally it'll be well, you spent less money on dining in September. Listen, because I can't eat. I can't eat out. I don't know what to eat in all reality, so I just cook at home, find different ways, and do it affordably. You can go to Aldi's. You don't got to get everything from Trader Joe's and different things like that, because you can find stuff at both places.
And if those of y'all who name brands, I'm gonna put y'all on a marketing tip, because I am a marketing minor. Half those no name brands that are equivalent to the name brands are actually the name brands in a sense, just in a different container. They do these deals, and they have these agreements with each other to be okay, we're gonna put this in our bottle, put our name on it, get a certain profit on it. So if on the label, look for example, let's say cough medicine, let's say NyQuil, and it's called Quill. At the top of the thing, if it says what does it say, similar to NyQuil, or
I was just gonna
the
say,
same as NyQuil, if you see something like that on the container,
at Walgreens, they have wall drill.
If you see that on the thing, 9 times 10 it's just NyQuil in a different bottle. So and it's also cheaper. So I've also noticed that too. So like I said, you ain't gotta get the name brand all the time. Walmart has become my best friend. Great value,
best friend
is my best friend. Great value is great.
It's
okay,
great, wonderful.
No pun intended. So yeah, that's just some ways we like try and like secure the bag, just save and budget. I know what I said I was gonna start doing, because I'm gonna start working my second job again when we go on this coming up break, is the money that I get from that job, putting it into my separate bank account that I have, that I don't use because we don't have that bank here in St. Louis. But it works out that we don't have that bank in St. Louis, because I can strictly use that for like when I want to go home, my expenses for when I want to go home, other just like anything that I need to do, and then using the current income that I get from my first job towards bills and expenses like that. And writing out your budget is important. Like, don't do that in your head.
See it. You have to see it.
It's depressing.
Whether that be you putting it on an Excel sheet, you writing it out, however you just need to see it visually.
I know I just recently did that, and I was like, dang.
And it feel different when you write it, because I know
it feel different, and it's a reality check.
50.
You like, dang, this how much I got left for real. You like, look, I had to write down some options, because I was like, how am I going to make this work? I just went on my balcony and I just started praying.
Look, sometimes
you just gotta just start praying. I'm like, oh Lord God, get me through this, get me through this, get me through it. So yeah, just like save and budget. Like, then it adds up at the end. Like, you might starting off, you might not have that much at the end, but once you like trying to say? Restrict. There we go. Yeah. Restrict yourself from certain things. It pays off. I know.
Literally.
One of my.
Like, I got a little bit more than I expected.
Yeah, and I actually noticed that just recently. I'm like, yes. Like, this is actually paying off, and it works out because you can like treat yourself every so often and like go out. I know I'm not want to go out that much, and we have always found cheaper ways to like do things and free things.
At SLU, oh my gosh, they even have so many free things here. I've been on so many free trips. Y'all just don't understand. Like, any free trip you see, go on it just for the experience.
Yeah, experiences. Yeah, she's trying. Look, I keep telling Makaila I'm gonna go with her, and I am. I'm gonna definitely get my money's worth for sure that I'm spending through this tuition. And so yeah, just
go.
Do
budget, save.
Look, we got any
invest.
Right, all of the above. Work, side hustles. Whatever that side hustle may be,
legal.
Please let it be legal. Please, let it be legal. And yeah, any final thoughts, remarks?
Not really. I mean, I pretty much gave y'all all of what I do and what
we
has
gave
helped
y'all
me.
all our secrets, our financial secrets.
Yeah, don't tell nobody.
No. Social media, where they can follow you.
So you can follow me at colormek_. That's my Instagram, and that's the only handle I'm gonna give y'all.
Yeah, thank you so much for coming on, for real. This was fun. I knew this was gonna be fun. It's nothing but a good time every time we get together. Y'all know who I am. It is Dejai Monet. You guys can follow me on Instagram and Twitter at DejaiVu_. That's DEJAIVU_. You guys can also subscribe to my channel. That is Dejai Monet, DEJAIMONET. And my first 2 episodes of I Think Therefore I'm Black are officially up. The links are in my bios. Yay! The links are in my bios on Instagram. I'm gonna put it on Twitter as well. So check out those first 2 episodes. The next 2 episodes will be available sometime this week. And yeah, have fun with your girl. Thank you guys for tuning in.
Thanks for having me.
I Think They're Fine Black. Thank you so much to Miss Makaila Anderson for coming on. And we're gonna end this song off with Racks in the Middle, because we getting racks in the middle, side, up and down, all around. Racks in the Middle by Nipsey Hussle.